So imagine your daily responsibilities are like a really heavy hiking backpack. You've got your family in there, your work, church commitments, your
Yeah,
friendships.
that gets heavy fast.
Right. And if all that weight is just hanging off one side, I mean, it is going to absolutely destroy your back no matter how strong you physically are.
Yeah, you can't just power through that kind of imbalance forever.
Exactly. But the solution isn't to just dump all your gear on the side of the trail. I mean, in this case, that gear is your faith and your commitments. The real solution is repacking the bag so it actually sits on your strongest muscles.
Repacking the bag, I like that analogy.
Yeah. So today we are doing a deep dive into a stack of workbooks, presentations, and journals from FaithFlow Rooted Ministry. Our mission today is to really explore how you can live out your faith with, clarity, steadiness, and integrity in real life.
And that is so needed right now. Because looking through all these sources, we see this recurring theme of a very specific type of quiet burnout.
Quiet burnout.
Yeah, you have these faithful people who are just collapsing behind the scenes. And they struggle not because they lack faith, but because they lack clarity while carrying their responsibility.
Right. Wow.
Right? They are doing everything right on paper, but because the weight of their life is distributed poorly, their peace completely fades.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. If I'm already overwhelmed by carrying all those commitments, how do these tools actually prevent that quiet burnout without just, giving us more homework?
That is the million-dollar question.
Because an exhausted person does not need a new to-do list.
It's a totally fair point. And the
Yeah.
answer is that it's not about adding tasks at all. It is about taking a step back and viewing your life as an ecosystem rather than a checklist.
Okay, ecosystem. How do we do that?
Well, the framework does this mechanically through 3 core discovery tools.
Mm.
First, there are spiritual gifts, which basically assesses your natural inclinations to map out exactly how you serve best.
Got it.
Second is the leadership pathway. This one forces you to map out where your emotional energy goes, identifying those hitting drains so you can set boundaries on how you carry responsibility.
Oh, that sounds incredibly useful. And the third one?
Third is the FaithFlow value pathway. That pinpoints the specific environments and feedback loops that replenish your energy. So to synthesize it simply, FaithFlow helps people understand how they serve, how they carry responsibility, and what helps them feel valued while they contribute.
Okay. So in practice, this looks like a tired, stretched leader who is endlessly juggling family, work, and church.
Yes, exactly the type of person we were talking about.
Right. And instead of just gritting their teeth and pushing harder into the fog, they hit pause. They use these 3 tools to understand the mechanics of their own burnout, gain absolute clarity on their ecosystem, and then choose a matching resource like a guided journal to anchor their next steps.
Precisely. They stop guessing what is draining them and start operating from a place of intentional design.
That makes perfect sense for unseen everyday pressures. But here's where it gets really interesting for me.
Oh.
Let's stress test this framework. Finding peace in everyday life makes sense, but the sources also mention these intense political environments. How does this framework survive that kind of heat?
It absolutely can.
Yeah.
Because the mechanism of holding on to your faith doesn't actually change just because the spotlight gets brighter.
Wait, really? It doesn't change?
Not fundamentally, no.
Yeah.
This is exactly why the framework is divided into 2 main paths based on the scale of the pressure. The first path is faith and leadership, which is built for everyday believers, families, and ministry leaders.
Okay, the everyday folks.
Right. And the second is the campaign series, engineered specifically for public leaders and campaign teams navigating highly scrutinized environments. It all boils down to this. Same foundation, different pressure.
Oh, same foundation, different pressure. I like that a lot. So the intense public pressure of a campaign doesn't fundamentally change who the candidate is. It just exposes the structural strain on their backpack.
Exactly. The exact same tools that ground a parent or a volunteer are the tools that protect a political candidate's integrity from public strain. When a public leader understands their God-given design, that clarity becomes an anchor. They don't have to compromise their values or lose themselves just to handle the stress of the arena.
Which brings us right back to you listening to this right now. Take a moment and look at your own unseen responsibilities. The people you care for, the quiet decisions you carry.
Yeah, the roles you faithfully show up for every single day. We want to leave you with something to really mull over.
Yeah.
What would happen if you finally stopped confusing exhaustion with effectiveness?
Man, that is a powerful thought. How might your life change if you served from overflow rather than obligation? To explore FaithFlow resources for faith, leadership, ministry, service, and public responsibility. Visit faithflowrootedministry.org.